Welcome to CFC. Today we're joined by Tony Anderson, who's the president of the NRECA board, and he's also a CFC board member. Tony recently retired as the CEO of Charitable Electric, and he founded the Cooperative Family Fund, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Tony, thanks for joining.
I'm happy to be here, Charlie. Thanks for having me.
So, Cooperative Family Fund is an incredibly important initiative, and give us a feel for why you started it and what it's all about.
Sure. I spent 17 years running a marathon in every state, raising money for Big Brothers Big Sisters and the kids who need mentors in that program. I wrapped up that program and was on the NRECA board, been in the co-op business for 40 years. And I looked around at our world and I saw an IOU lineman pass away. I saw an electric co-op lineman pass away, and they left kids behind. And the thought hit me of, I spent 17 years working for kids in Grand Traverse County, and I've done nothing to help kids in my co-op family, which has given me everything I have. So I started to ruminate in my head on what could I do for those kids. And slowly the idea of the Cooperative Family Fund came out, and I pitched it to the CFC board at strategic planning in January of 22 it was. And then we built it over the year, working with CFC, Brad Captain and his team, and we went live in December of 22.
And it's really picked up quickly. It's impressive the progress it's made so quickly. So give us a feel for how many cooperatives have engaged to date.
Sure. We've raised a little over $500,000. And so there's probably close to 300 co-ops. I don't have the specific amount, but we had a large donation from the Michigan statewide of $100,000. CFC put in 50, NRECA put in 50, and then we've had some 10,000 donations from Resco in Kentucky and Mississippi and Charitable Electric, and then the rest of that is just individual $1,000 a piece from like I say, it's got to be close to 300 co-ops, 250 for sure.
That's great.
Really
phenomenal. And so that the funds you're raising, they'll go to children of cooperative family members that basically pass away on the job.
Full-time electric cooperative employees, when one passes away and leaves kids behind, those are the kids we want to cover. And it's all employees. It's managers, it's engineers, it's linemen, it's accountants, it's office workers. It's the entire family. And so we've lost 13 employees in 10 different states since we started in December. And those 13 employees had 29 kids.
Wow.
We've been able to fund those 29 kids at $10,000 each in a homestead funds investment that will grow until they turn 18, and we will release the funds to them at that time.
Well, that's great. You're leveraging the co-op family, the homestead funds run by NRECA.
Yes, absolutely. And the key component of the homestead funds is the child doesn't control the investment, but they get a quarterly statement. And what that does for me, and what I hope it does for the family, is it's a quarterly reminder that we care about you, we haven't forgotten you, and you're part of the co-op family long after your father or your mother have passed away.
That's excellent. What a great program. And so the next big step has to be fundraising, is that right?
Absolutely. We have to fund these kids. There's no history, there's no data on how many kids a year we're going to have. We're in month 7, month 8 if you count December, and we're at 29 kids. So we have to get ready for the next 29 kids.
Yeah. And so I think I did read that an individual co-op kind of had their own fundraiser for the program within their cooperative system.
Absolutely, yeah. Jared Echternach at Beltrami Electric in Minnesota is one of the co-ops that comes to mind when you mentioned that. His employees latched onto the idea, and they had a rummage sale, garage sale, bake sale, and they raised $3,000 just from that employee group for the fund.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could see that picking up, and the
yeah,
way
hopefully.
co-ops operate, they're gonna take charge of this and make it happen.
Yeah, it's an activity they can do that's beyond the funeral. You know, for decades in our business, we put on really good funerals with bucket trucks and food, and we'll still keep doing that. But this goes a step beyond that, and that's what I like.
Yeah, that's outstanding. And it's also open that just a co-op member could donate, or just the general public. Is that right?
Anybody can donate. It's www.cooperativefamilyfund.com. You click on donate. Anybody in the country can do that. And absolutely, I've had a $5 donation to the $100,000 donation.
Yeah.
And we've got a few people. One's a retiree, one's an employee. They're doing recurring donations. They'll do $50, $100 a month.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, that's great.
That's easily done at the website too.
Well, congratulations on establishing it. And I know you thought you were retiring, but you still got your work cut out for you.
Yeah, but it's the CFC. You know, that board really was the kickoff, and CFC supported it, and I've got good support from NRECA, and then good support from around the country that says it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And that makes me proud. And another thing we're doing besides the money for the kids is we're making a memory book of each lost employee. And we've just recently completed our first 3 books. And the response we got from the family who received that book has been amazing.
Yeah, that's very touching.
And I got a great note from a co-op employee in Ohio that just told me how proud they were to be a co-op employee.
Yeah.
Because they got to hand that book to that family. So it's accomplishing the goal of making us a better family, unfortunately one loss at a time. But
yeah, it really fits with the cooperative business model.
Then. We always talk about family, and we're putting some work behind the family talk right now.
Well, I know Andrew Don, our CEO, is committed to
absolutely
keeping the support going and helping you. So we look forward to working on that. Mm-hmm. Let's shift to your role now as president of NRECA, the National Trade Association. Mm-hmm. I see that Jim Matheson's doing a good job. He's out there on the news talking about co-ops and the need to remain sustainable utilities delivering efficient, reliable power.
Yep.
Despite the push for decarbonization, they have a role to play that's always been there. So as you are now the president, and you and Jim have sat down and discussed, what's your year forward looking like? What's your mission?
My mission is to assist all the co-ops in the country and Jim and his employees on pushing the resolutions passed by the electric cooperative members. I have no agenda. We have an agenda as a co-op family, and it's in the resolutions process. We have over 100 resolutions that gives NRECA direction. So my goal is to help Jim fulfill those resolutions as best I can, whether it's spreading the message on reliability or talking about a recent rate increase. I have no personal agenda. We have an agenda that I'm trying to help with at every opportunity. Jim can't be everywhere. I'm in Louisiana talking about NRECA next week, and I do some other statewide stuff when I'm asked, because we don't have time to be everywhere, but we're splitting up the load, and I'm just trying to spread the message and help him. NRECA and Jim they're leading the reliability message in the country.
Yeah.
The munis aren't organized. The IOUs aren't on the same page when it comes to reliability, but the co-op industry is, and Jim's and his staff have been hitting that message hard, and I'm just trying to help that message.
Agreed. I think they've been doing a good job at it.
Yeah. They absolutely have.
I pull up LinkedIn or something, I see yet another channel Jim's been on, so that's good. He's getting the message out there. An important message.
Yeah, and Congress on both sides of the aisle is looking to NRECA for guidance and for information, because they trust us, because we're not partisan. We're just for the member.
Right.
And that message is coming through too. And we're building a lot of trust right now.
Outstanding. Well, as you know, CFC is here to support you, so we appreciate your involvement on our board.
Yeah, I'm honored, and it's a pleasure to serve on the CFC board. You guys are a huge part of the co-op family, and
All right, so we're going to keep working. We're going to help you with the Cooperative Family Fund. It's a very important initiative, and I hope that everyone out there considers donating to the fund. Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome. My pleasure.